And that was the beginning of when I rebuilt with slow, simple acts of self-care. And that's, because healing, it doesn't happen all at once. It's not a single decision. It's a daily commitment. But each time you choose yourself, when you speak up, for instance, even though your voice may be trembling, when you rest, when you cry, when you go to the park like I did, instead of returning back to the chaos, you are reclaiming pieces of yourself. And that acknowledgement, that is the start of when the self-care begins. Because that is when when you start to accept it and admit it, you naturally see that your needs matter.
Hello, welcome to the F.E.E.L Podcast. I'm Melissa Crook, your host. I've got a new friend here with me today from our good friends at Podmatch. I've got Amanda J. Scott. She's joining me from down under. I'm so happy to have another Australian friend here in the conversation. I've been so fortunate over these last couple of years to meet so many incredible women from all around the world, several being from Australia. And I can't think of any other way I would have met them had Podmatch not connected. So I'm super excited to share Amanda, her story, her powerful story, and what she's learned about, where she is today, the resources she's offered. She's such a gift to women. And she also sadly has a story that's far too common. The good news for all of us, and especially her, is that she has moved on from that, moved forward, has learned to love herself well. And she describes herself as someone who's passionate, kind, empathetic, and most importantly, and she added this, and I love this when I asked her this question, she's like, I am those things to myself. That, my friends, if you get nothing else today, I want you to really take that home. Amanda, welcome to the F.E.E.L Podcast.
Lovely. Thank you so much, Melissa, for having me. And hello out there to all the listeners. It's wonderful. Thank you for letting me be part of your podcast. It's wonderful. Yeah.
Absolutely.
And everybody deserves the opportunity to heal and move on from an abusive situation.
Yeah, absolutely. And you not only embody that yourself, but now you're sharing and helping other women as well, which leads me to my first question of, talk to me about prioritizing self-care in your life. This is something that is not happening when you're in an abusive relationship, because you're just trying to survive, and you don't even know, so many times, I would imagine, you don't even know your own value well enough to know to make this a priority.
Yeah. And that's true. I mean, for such a long time, I didn't even know what self-care truly meant. I thought it was something that you did when everything else was done. I thought it was a luxury that you earned after the chaos had settled, after everybody else's needs had been met. But that time never came. So it took me 17 years to understand that self-care, it's not a luxury. It's a lifeline. It's vital. It's vital. It is the thread that keeps you connected to yourself when everything else is unraveling.
Wow. When did you realize that?
Well, in the beginning, I was emotionally depleted and physically drained. As I said, I put all my energy into other people that I didn't have. I was empty. I was completely empty. And I couldn't even remember when I felt full. So the turning point came for me when I finally acknowledged the truth that I was in an abusive relationship. Now, this is one of the hardest truths to face, because we make excuses. We tell ourselves it's not that bad. And I had convinced myself that putting my needs first made me loving and loyal and good. But it only made me lost.
Yeah, that sense of abandoning yourself all the time.
Yeah.
Which isn't healthy for any of us. But it's the opposite of the script we get as little girls. I want to go, we start hearing at very young ages how we're supposed to show up in the world.
Yeah. So at first, caring for myself was foreign. And it was actually uncomfortable. And it seemed selfish at first.
Yeah.
But I think putting myself, that moment when I accepted, acknowledged it, was a beginning. And that is when my healing began. And I didn't have all the answers, and I didn't know what the next step would be. But by simply admitting it, it cracked open the door to freedom. And that is when I began the journey back to me. Now, and for me, the self-care was to allow myself space to breathe. That was important. And I found that space in nature, amongst the birds and the trees and that stillness, where I'd walk in nature, away from the chaos in my life. And I would just process my emotions without being interrupted. It was those moments that I was able to make sense of who I was and what I'd tolerated and who I'd lost in that process. And I began to reconnect with myself. And it taught me that I mattered. Yeah.
Wow. So good and so important. You mentioned so many important steps, that ability to connect with yourself, to connect the emotional, the mental, the physical, the spiritual, all the pieces and parts of it, that getting quiet out into nature where you could allow yourself the space and the time.
And that was the beginning of when I rebuilt with slow, simple acts of self-care. And that's, because healing, it doesn't happen all at once. It's not a single decision. It's a daily commitment. But each time you choose yourself, when you speak up, for instance, even though your voice may be trembling, when you rest, when you cry, when you go to the park like I did, instead of returning back to the chaos, you are reclaiming pieces of yourself. And that acknowledgement, that is the start of when the self-care begins. Because that is when when you start to accept it and admit it, you naturally see that your needs matter.
Yeah.
And they do.
They do. So good. Talk to me in this process about the role learning about healthy boundaries has been for you in terms of who you will and won't allow in your spaces. Space and time you won't give to other things, and making sure that you're the priority in terms of your care. Talk to me about learning how to put that together so that you always had that time and space protected for yourself.
Well, I knew that, in the past, I was conditioned to believe that my needs came last. And I said yes to things that made me feel small, just to avoid the conflict and rejection. But what I've come to understand is that boundaries, they're not walls built from fear. They're not. They are gentle gates of love and respect. They don't exist to shut people out. They exist to honor and nurture the peace, that I've took a long time to create that peace. So it's really important because, as I said before, self-care is a start to providing yourself, to prove to yourself in real tangible ways that your well-being is worth protecting.
Mm.
So boundaries are, they taught me that I don't need to over-explain or apologize for looking after myself. I don't. I no longer need to justify the need to rest.
Mm.
I don't. Boundaries give me the freedom to choose what is healthy.
Mm. Wow. That was a masterclass in healthy boundaries. Thank you so much for that. That was so good. I want to go back to this connecting our emotional, mental, physical, spiritual health. When you're in abusive situations, there are so many triggers. Triggers? Stress triggers. I combined a word there.
Yeah.
It happened. There's this living in this hyper vigilant state all the time because there's this constant sense of you're constantly running from the lion kind of thing with your nervous system. And I've talked to so many women that had literal physical illnesses as an outcome from being in these abusive relationships. How did it has this all manifested for you?
Well, this is what happens. Your emotional health was something that I ignored for years because I would smile like we do through the pain. I would dress up to cover up the heartache I was feeling. And I thought if I kept going, if I kept holding it all together, if I kept showing up, it would all be okay. So, but it wasn't. So what I've come to understand is the emotional health is just as important as your physical health.
Yeah.
Because our bodies, they hold on to the emotions that we refuse to feel.
Yeah.
And the words we never say.
Yeah.
So by suppressing it and pushing down those emotions, they don't disappear. Melissa, they don't. They don't. They store in the body. There's tension, there's exhaustion, and there's illness.
Yeah. Yeah, they do. And it's something we're talking about more and more finally, but there's so many of us, so many women in various different ways and stories that carry this with us for years. And we have this like pivotal, like hit the wall kind of a moment where we can't ignore it anymore. Did you have that when you kind of had that wake up call of like, I am in an abusive, because you talked about earlier, you had to acknowledge it, you had to recognize it, you had to name it. Was there some specific event or thing that happened within your body that let you know you could no longer go on like this? Or did it just kind of happen over time?
Yes. And well, I think, things happen, the emotional, it leads into your physical illness. And one of the things that I had, I wasn't able to speak up. My thyroid had exploded. It was like, come on, Amanda, you've got to talk. You've got to speak up. So I started to have physical ailments. And this is what happens when you don't get it out. So for me, the most important thing was to stop running away from the emotions and to actually physically, okay, check in with myself. Oh, how am I feeling?
Yeah.
So one of the powerful practices I did was when I was walking in the park, I call it, walking with emotions. I would go in the park and I'd let my body move with how I felt. So if I was feeling angry, I would pump it out. I'd walk fast, furious. I'd pick up my speed. And if I was, feeling sad, I'd be slow. But the movement helped me. Instead of storing it, it actually got it out. It went through me. And I think it's important to recognize them and move through the emotions instead of letting them define you.
Yes.
In a way. Yeah.
Yes. So important. I think that you made a very important distinction there. Sometimes people think they have this erroneous idea that if they feel it, it will become their identity. No, you're allowing space to acknowledge it exists, to feel it, to move through it, and to move forward. And that's, you're not hanging on to it. You're not identifying with it, but you are naming it and giving it an opportunity to be acknowledged, and also acknowledging where it came from so that you can to move through that.
And it was a healthy way of doing it in the park, because I must make this point, because it's really important when you're going through an abusive relationship to maintain your dignity and respect. Because there was a time when I turned into the abuser.
Oh, wow.
Right? Because of all the rage and the humiliation, I ended up being like that. And you must recognize not to do that, because there is a time to get that anger in a healthy place. Go to the park, don't take it out, and don't be turn up to be somebody like your, the abuser. So you must recognize not to flip those roles with the anger, and to be able to maintain calmness and peace. Yes, get the anger and frustrations out, but do it maybe in the park, where it can all
in a healthy way, where you feel safe.
Way. Yes,
exactly.
That's right. Because otherwise, so that's a little tip there. Yes, to watch. No. But also another great way is journaling and emptying, what's going on in your mind. Put it on paper. Get it out. Get it out of your mind onto the paper.
Yeah. Very powerful. Yeah. Thank you so much for that.
No, and some affirmations, of course. I'm calm, I'm at peace, and I can feel this and still be okay. I can feel angry and I can still be okay. So it's not about never feeling the pain. It's about letting them move through you, as I said. That's important. Yeah. Yes. Because emotional health is physical health, because when we give our feelings a voice, the body exhales. The tension softens. Yeah.
Yeah. It releases. We're not carrying that weight anymore. You literally feel lighter when you do it.
Yeah. And you come back home to yourself.
Yes.
It's really important. Yeah.
Absolutely.
So that's emotional health. I mean, it's just as important. It is. Yeah.
Yeah. It all connects back. Yeah. So good. Thank you so much for that. This space that you are in today has really enabled you to live unapologetically as your truest self. And you're also now have resources where you're helping other women to do that as well. And one of the things I talk a lot about in this unapologetic space is it really starts with not apologizing for showing up in a room, whether it's your physical words or your countenance. Like, that you deserve to be seen, known, and heard. That everything else you are responsible for yourself, not everyone else. And you stop apologizing for taking up space. You stop apologizing. I tell women all the time, I'm like, we as women have to stop living like we're an inconvenience. We are not an inconvenience. We have value. It's intrinsic within us. I feel like you've really gotten to this space, and that really kind of has opened the door for you to become this great resource that you are now. Do you feel in alignment with that? Was it clear to you right away as you went on your healing journey and came home to you that you needed to also share this possibility with other women?
Yeah, I mean, there was a time that I didn't have a voice. I did not have a voice. Yeah. But let alone one that was strong enough to talk about it. But through my journey, finding my way back to me, I discovered the power of women supporting women. Without friends, the only voice I had in my ear was my husband telling me what to do and that I was stupid. So I believe it is critical for women to have at least one good friend who knows about their situation. And if they're in an abusive situation, is helping them find solutions to their current state, current situation. You know, friends are so important. They bring connection. They bring a belonging, and they help to lower your stress. A good friend provides you, with a different perspective, and is there to build your confidence and your self-belief. I had one good friend who saw what I was going through, and she sort of held up a mirror for me to see the truth.
Oh, wow.
And it was so, to me, friendship is sacred. And it's really not about how many friends you've got. It's just about having even one friend that reminds you that you matter. That's what it's about. Yeah. And that changed everything for me. It changed everything. Yeah. So supporting women, I think it means showing up and listening without judging, because we all go through things at our own time, in our own, at our own pace. So it's really about not judging, listening, and just being a safe place there for others to land. And it's also about reminding each other about our worth until we believe it ourselves.
Wow. That's so powerful. And I think we underestimate that, because I think those women that stick by us and stay with us, because I would imagine, there was a time and space in your relationship when you were still married where they were having to kind of hang in there with you because you weren't maybe ready to hear it yet.
Absolutely. Yeah. You're totally right. And that's what happens. But if they just are there, they're there, and they are actually the backbone to your path forward. Friends are.
That's so beautiful. Thank you for sharing that. I love that so much. It's such a beautiful picture of women. So in community, loving each other well, showing up for each other, that listening. Sometimes you just need somebody to be with you. And some, it's sometimes it's not about what you do or the words you say. It's that consistently showing up.
Yeah. And being there to walk with you, to pick you up, to help you through it until you can walk yourself, really.
That's such a beautiful model of love. I love that so much. All right. Talk to me about, really, as you were able to come back home to yourself, you've learned to love yourself well and extend this kindness and compassion to yourself. What did that tell you and inform you about what your why and your values were and how you wanted to live your life moving forward? You were no longer living out of what somebody else was telling you about you. You were living out of you. Talk to me about that realization of, oh, wait a minute, this is what I care about. This is what I value. This is my why according to who I am.
Yes, well, it's quite, my why is quite a personal thing, because I do what I do because I don't want anybody else to feel as lost and as unloved as I did. I think I'd lived in a world that I had forgotten my values, and I allowed others to define it for me. Coming back to my why, of course, it meant remembering who I am, what matters to me, truth, kindness, respect, freedom, loyalty. These are the values. And so these are the values that now they are the compass that guide me to everything I do. Yeah, I do what I do because once I found my way back to me, I didn't want to keep that journey to myself, because every woman deserves to feel comfortable in her own skin, to trust her own voice, and to live life like it feels like hers, not shaped not shaped by fear or guilt or survival. So the work I do is to remind women that they're not alone. That their stories matter. And no matter how far they've drifted from themselves, it's just never too late to come home. It took me 17 years. It's never too late to come home to yourself. Yeah.
Yeah, I love that so much. You laid that out so beautifully. You got to a point then where you decided, I'm living out of my own expectations, not others' expectations.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Talk to me about what it was like to communicate that for the first time when you made that shift.
Yes. Well, too many years I'd met everybody else's expectations. I tried to be the perfect wife, the mother, as we do, according to everybody else's rules. But of course, deep down, I was crumbling. So living out of my own expectations has been a revolutionary shift. Yeah. It meant, and what it meant was asking myself, what do I want? Whoa. Yeah. What brings me peace? What does love look like for me? And that's an important one. What does love, because a healthy love, you know what a healthy relationship is a place of love, of respect, of mutual growth. But when abuse is present, it strips away at those foundations and leaves you living in survival. And it's not love.
Yeah.
So I needed to find, okay, so what is love? What is a healthy relationship? Well, a healthy relationship is freedom. It's freedom. It's you can set boundaries and still be loved. You can make mistakes and you can speak your truth. And the most important thing is that respect is not negotiable. It is actually the baseline. Yeah. But when you've got an abuse, what that is the control replaces the respect. Yeah. And instead of safety, you feel fear. It's instead of the growth, you shrink. You second guess yourself. You're walking on eggshells, and you abandon your needs to keep the peace. So that's important to know what it's like. And because then I stopped living for approval, and I actually started living for alignment. This is what I know. This is what a healthy relationship is. And that is my alignment. And while I tell you this, important, while this transition was messy and uncomfortable at first, because it is, because your body's not sure what's going on. You used to be in an abusive relationship. No. And I'm trying to say to my subconscious, I am safe in a healthy relationship. That's where I am. I'm safe. I'm loved. Yeah.
Yeah.
Abuse is not love. I'm having to say it. It's not love. Yeah.
Yeah.
This is where love is. So today I honor who I truly am, not who I was told to be.
Yes. Ooh, put an exclamation point by that. That is so good.
Yeah.
And I have to believe I call it layers, but I have to believe this has really led you to be able to embrace your layers, embrace the pieces and parts of your story, the ones you love, the ones you don't love, and come to kind of an acknowledgement of it and a contentment, a peace, not a contentment, it's probably not the word, but a peace with it where you're no longer beating yourself up for it. There's no more shame. There's no more fear. Talk to me about what it's been like to come home to yourself in that way.
Yeah, I think that's so important. I think healing taught me that I'm not one thing, I'm not just a
Mm,
survivor, a mother, a teacher, a writer. I'm just layered. I'm layered.
yeah.
And I am the woman that once I broke down in the bedroom.
Yeah.
But now I'm the same woman that stands up, and I feel empowered. I feel strong.
Mm,
Accepting my layered self meant
yeah.
appreciating my journey and all the experiences that come with it. Um, and it's for me, I love the parts when I was scared. Yeah, when I was
Mm,
ashamed, when I was
mhm,
silenced. And I also celebrate the parts of me that were bold. And
mhm.
um, I laugh because there were some funny things, and I was bold and I was brave and I was resilient. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because what
Yeah.
happens is our layers, they're not flaws. They are
Yeah.
evidence of our growth.
Yeah. Oh, I love that. That's so good. Yes, exactly that. I love that. That was such a great way of describing that. Thank you so much. As you have learned to live it, you are living out feel, what I call feel, finding empowerment, embracing layers. You have found that within yourself. And you have come to this new space and understanding and love for yourself. And you've talked about this a little bit already, but give me a kind of a wrapping up of how that has not only impacted your relationship with yourself and the healthy space that it lives in today, but also your relationships with other people.
Oh, yes. Well, it has completely, finding empowerment and embracing layers has completely transformed my relationships. When I
Yeah.
began, of course, to empower myself, I actually stopped tolerating relationships that drained me.
Hmm.
And once I did that, I attracted the people who were
Mm,
kind and uplifting. So embracing layers is helped me to actually show up authentically
mm,
uh, to my true self. And it
yeah.
also, when you do that, it actually helps others to do the same as well.
Yeah.
Yeah. It deepened my connection with my daughters and my
Mm,
friends and the new people I meet, because I no longer fear that vulnerability, uh, because I see it as a strength, really. And
mm,
it's living out feel. Yeah,
mhm.
living out that feel has allowed me to build relationships grounded in mutual respect
Yeah.
and emotional honesty.
Mm, yeah.
Uh, yeah, I think that's what and real lasting love. That's what
Yeah.
It's helped me. Yeah, absolutely.
Mm,
Mm.
I love that. And so you mentioned having daughters. What a powerful example you have set for them of like you don't have to stay stuck. You get to shift. You get to own the choices and difficult decisions and move forward and heal and honor yourself.
Yes, I think that's really important. And one thing, a piece of advice that I give to people is don't tell yourself you'll stay for the children, because all we teach our children in
Mm,
that situation is um, that love equals abuse, and it doesn't. Do you know what I mean? It doesn't. So and that was one of my main motivations of leaving the marriage. Um, it was to show my children the importance of self-respect.
mm,
Yeah.
yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Thank you so much for that. Go ahead.
Yeah. So yes. So I think that's important to be the role model. To
Yeah.
yeah. Even though what
Mm,
happened, they can change it. And
yeah.
children just want to see you happy. They just want to
Yeah.
see you happy. So if you focus on yourself, the self-care, then then they can see that. They can see then how it is important, because every time you honor your needs, you rebuild your worth.
Mm,
Every moment you choose yourself, you strengthen the belief that you deserve the life you are creating. That's what I
mm,
wanted to show my children. That's
mm.
what I wanted to show the girls.
I love that. That's so good. Such a powerful thing. Probably,
Mm.
maybe one of the most important things that you taught them.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. All right. We are winding down here. I've got a few rapid fire questions for you. Tell me
right.
five. Tell me
Love it.
5 activities that nourish you.
Okay, well, you know what's going to be top on the list. Walking in the park.
Yep.
Yeah. Because walking in the park, that's one of the most powerful tools. During the pivotal days of finding my way back to myself, when I felt stuck, numb and unsure what to do, I just walked because nature was my quiet therapist. It was good for my spirit. I think science shows that it lifts your moods, it boosts your energy, and it enhances your focus.
Yeah.
So, and it still is. Walking is my time sacred place, it's my reset button. And it is my time to come back to myself.
I love that so much.
Yeah.
And it really saved your life, honestly.
Yes, it did. It did.
Yeah.
It did. And I still go there. It's not like I'm always going there because it's a daily commitment. Self-care is a daily commitment that I matter.
Yeah.
And I'm always going back there. Yes. Yeah.
Any other activities you'd like to add to that list?
Okay, yep. I'd say journaling and writing because that's the most nourishing practice is writing for me. I mean, because it gives me my emotions a place to land.
Yeah.
Because I truly believe when we write, we sort of break the silence. So, yeah. Yes, it was painful to write about abuse, to write about betrayal, abandonment. But it's also liberating to write about rising, forgiving, and bringing yourself back to wholeness. So, yeah, that's another one. Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah. Another one, vision boarding. Have you done any vision boarding?
I have. Yep.
That is a great one. That's creating a vision board, and it gives you a sense of excitement for the future. It's how you bring all your hopes and dreams and desires into view.
Yeah.
And
I think it's a powerful tool that's underutilized.
Yeah. I get to visualize. I wake up in the morning, I look at my vision board, and I get to visualize a life that I am building full of love and peace. So it's a good idea to get out there and put that vision board together. And it is very powerful, very powerful. Yeah. So that's, and also to me, I love spending time with my daughters and my puppy. That's what I love to do.
Oh, I love that. So good. So good. All right.
How good is that? Yeah.
Pets are so good for the soul.
Yeah, they are. Because they're full of conditional love. They've got the pure love. And they brought joy into the home. And, you can be doing the silliest things. And it just reminds you how special the simple things in life are. Yeah. And then there's another activity I love to do is facilitating the workshops, helping women find their way back to themselves. And to me, that's the most nourishing and satisfying thing I do. Yeah.
Yeah, I love that. That's so good. So good. All right. 5 words on how you want to feel the next 6 months.
Well, Melissa, how I feel determines how I live for the next 6 months. So how do I want to? So now let me think. So this is great. So because how do I want to feel? Well, I want to feel full of excitement. I want to be open to all the possibilities. Yeah. I want to be curious as to what's next. And I think I want to be brave to say yes. Another feeling, I want to feel grateful. And I want to be deeply aware of all the blessings that I already have. I want to feel empowered. I want to be strong in my voice and strong in my choices. And I want to build this, a strong life. That's how I want to feel empowered. And I want to feel free. I want to be light and clear and just true to myself. That's what I want to be. Yeah. And lastly, I want to be alive. I want to wake up. I want to wake up in the morning. I want to be wake up in the morning, and I want to laugh, and I want to love fully.
Wow. I love that. You've got me ready to go. Your energy is palpable. It really, and you're passionate, and you're so genuinely connected to this. Thank you so much for all that you've brought to us today. Tell people where they can find you, follow you, work with you, get access to your book, all those things. And this will also be on our website at embracinglayers.com.
Thank you, Melissa. Look, people can connect with me on amandajscott.com. And I've got blogs that they can receive, and my book's on there, Finding My Way Back to Me, which is a powerful short book. It's not a long book, but it's a reminder that we all deserve kindness and respect. And if they want any support, if they want a question to be asked, or they've got a friend that they're not sure and they're not sure what to do, please reach out, and I will personally get back to you, because it's about helping others, helping each other go through this. It's a challenging time going through an abusive and getting yourself back to yourself and bringing yourself back. So I am there to help and support anyone. If they need anything answered, please reach out. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Any last thoughts you'd like to leave with our listeners today?
Okay. I think I'll leave you with this one, that the truth is, you don't need anyone else's permission to call it abuse. If it feels wrong, if you feel small, if you feel trapped, silenced, or constantly questioning your worth, that is enough. You don't have to wait for it to get worse. Your feelings are valid and your pain is real. Yeah. Because I think sometimes what happens, we think abuse is just physical abuse, but it's not. It's the invisible wounds. Yeah, it's the emotional ones that chip into your self-worth. That is abuse. That's still abuse. You don't have to wait for it to get worse. Yeah.
I love that.
I think I just want to leave you with that. Yeah.
Yeah. That's very wise insight. And it just goes back to that trusting yourself, those messages you're getting from yourself. Don't let anyone diminish those or, minimize them. Really pay attention to that. That is your first clue. Amanda, thank you so much for being with me
Melissa.
Today.
Thank you so much. It's been wonderful to be on your show, and you're a beautiful, beautiful soul. Thank you. And thank you, and hello, and bye-bye to everybody out there listening. It's been wonderful. Wonderful.
Yes. Oh, I'm so glad to hear it. I'm so grateful for this time with you today. Listeners, there are resources. Go to our show notes. You're going to learn more about Amanda there. In our blog, we're going to have resources to support you, or if you're in an abusive situation yourself, or if you have a loved one that is, and you're wanting to know how to support them, we've got resources for you to support you in that. Thank you so much for listening today. Thanks again, Amanda, for joining me.
Pleasure. My pleasure.
Take good care of yourselves, everybody, and we'll be with you here next time on the F.E.E.L Podcast. Have a great day. Hello, and thank you so much for being with us today on this episode of the F.E.E.L Podcast. If you would like more information on how you can apply these talking points that I share with our guests in each episode to your own life, really utilize this F.E.E.L framework, go to embracinglayers.com, fill out our contact form, and let's set up a free 30-minute consultation to talk about how you can start living your most authentic, organic, healthy, F.E.E.L fueled life. Thanks again for being with us today. We'll be back to you soon with another episode here on the F.E.E.L Podcast.